pleased you most?
Oh, defence. Yeah, without a doubt. I thought we handled everything they threw at us. They throw a lot of footy at you. They have a lot of change of angles. Kieran Dixon gets around the field quite a lot, and I just felt like we handled that pretty comfortably. Our attention to detail in it was good, and it had to be because we made ourselves do a hell of a lot of defending. So, yeah, really pleased with that, D.
Just kind of on that game, is that kind of an advert of the characteristics that you want out of your London side?
Yeah, I think so. I do think that times we're getting too caught up in the niggle as well, which is, signature of what to expect in championship footy. I've played it in the start of my career and the end of my career, and it hasn't changed. There's going to be plenty of niggle, and we've got to be better than that, and we've got to make choices of what the team needs at the time because our discipline needs to be better.
You've got so many options in the halves and done half, haven't you? You're still moving the chess pieces around. It's still a trial period, is it?
It'll take a good 6-8 weeks before we start settling down to the team. We've got some boys that didn't play today that could easily come into the 17, and Saliba Villi didn't play, Sam Davis, Marcus Stock, Ben Hersey, so there's some quality still available. And yeah, like I said, in terms of our rhythm in attack, we're not going to get any rhythm if we keep turning the ball over and we keep giving penalties away. So we've got to get into some cycle footy, which is a fashionable word these days people use. So yeah, we want to get into that and get some footy on.
How are you finding the footy in the championship?
Yeah, it's good. The first 2 weeks, it's been pretty tough, to be honest. That stop-start footy today probably made it tough on ourselves, but it just showed the resilience in our defence this week. I thought that was pretty awesome. So just building it next week into Bradford.
What's it like sort of being in a team still sort of in its formulative, period? Guys coming and going, and is it for you? Is it a challenge? Do you enjoy it, or is it?
Yeah, well, that was one of the things that sort of brought me over here, is just to try and own my own team. JD's given me that opportunity, so it's been enjoyable this past couple of months, just trying to find my way and be a leader in this team. And first 2 weeks, it's been good. So just look to build on that to the next couple of weeks.
Now, what's it like over the course of the game with the talk amongst everybody when, as I said, you're still getting used to each other and you're getting used to, there's different players playing different positions. How do you sort of stay focused and keep your confidence and keep,
Oh, we get our confidence from the training and the reps we do at training. So the more reps we get at training and the more games we play together, we're only going to get better as the year goes on. So we'll just build on that.
And playing a Super League team next week, is everyone looking forward to that?
Yeah, personally, it's something I've had my eyes on. So we want to play at the highest level here in the UK. So as a club, we're really looking forward to it.
And what about you, Jason? Is it a point to prove next week?
I think it's a point to prove for ourselves, yeah. It's not so much Bradford. It's, I've said that before to the boys, the biggest challenge we've got is going to be in our own changing room, and pull together a squad in, that's been together for 6 weeks really, with a whole new team. And the team I said at the start of the season, the team we see in the first quarter of the season won't be the team you see at the back end of the season in terms of how we play and the trust and the confidence we have in our game. But the early signs are good, and we get to test that next week against a Super League side and against Bradford, a side that's just got promoted. And they'll come down here with a point to prove. And the biggest thing for us is to showcase where our club's going. And hopefully Bradford bring plenty down. It's £10 tickets the club's doing, which is a great deal. Hopefully we get people coming from far and wide, and we absolutely pack out this stadium here because the atmosphere would be electric if we can fill it. And I think that you're not going to get better value for £10 on a Sunday in London, that's for sure.
And I just had a quick word with Finley on the radio, just a full-time Finley there. What can you say about his game today? He had a big day, didn't he?
Yeah. I spoke to him about it at half time. I felt like he was probably pushing himself a little bit too much and trying to make an impact for the team, and just needed to calm down a little bit. But I thought his patience in the second half was really good. I'm a big fan of Finley and have been for quite some time. And he played in the Kummel side, and there was several players that could have played ahead of him. But he's starting to show his class, and the more he plays, the better we're going to get. But again, he's coming off an injury, so he's building his fitness as well at the moment. But yeah, he's very physical and he's very crafty out of 9-2, and it's only going to add to our game as the weeks go on.
What sort of fella is he? He seems a cheery, smiley sort of guy.
Yeah, he's very cheery and respectful and that around me, but I reckon he's a bit of a rascal around the boys. So, yeah, I think he's different around me than he is around the lads. But no, he's a good character.
And he, like, obviously, you've said it a few times, but the number of people like staying up in PNG particularly to watch at 2 a.m. is like, can you just, you must see evidence of it every day. The level of the interest in PNG, like, how are you sort of confronted with it every day? Or a day like today when there's flags and there's people coming up to you, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you confronted? You see it every day, do you? Or?
Well, I'm used to it now. I've been coaching the Kumals for 2 years, and there's no country in the world that can rival their passion for rugby league. Not even close. And you know, Peter Volandi's done a great job in putting an NRL team there, because the growth of the game over there is huge, and the opportunity to find more players for every NRL club, not just the Chiefs when they come in, but you know, they're just absolutely passionate about their footy, and we're fortunate to have a few of them over here. But you know, we've got a few other boys as well. We've got a few Africans over here as well, and a few of these Aussie boys as well floating around. But got strong southern contingent as well, and starting to play some good footy. So we want to grow that over the next few years. But yeah, the interest, you know, Big Al's out there waving a PNG flag around. I think he's become a bit of a idol in PNG, and we've created a monster, I think. So, but yeah, you can't help if you're fortunate to get to PNG, and anyone who loves rugby league, if you get a chance, get over there, because it's eye-opening for sure.
Did you score the try, or did the captain score the try?
I'll let him claim that one. Front rowers don't usually get tries, so yeah, he can take it.
It was like a split second.
It was.
And my last question is, what do you do next week with your halves and hooker? Like, you've got so many configurations there.
Yeah, I think the beauty of the team we've got at the moment is we can have a good look at Bradford and see what best suits the team for that game. And we need to get Gyro running as well. His running game's electric when he gets going, but the conditions probably aren't suiting that at the moment. But that'll grow. It'll grow, and once partnerships grow, and I think we saw some good touches from Maria today, and we're blessed. We're blessed to have some options in that area. But I thought Connor did a fair job at 13 as well, and I think he's going to grow in that role as well.
You've just said there about having southern players. How important is it to have that core of London-based players, or originally from London, players like Jimmy Meadows, for instance? Yeah,
for me it's massive. And I think the more southern accents we hear around the place, the better. And I say that sincerely. Like, when I first came to England, you could have one overseas player in championship. And I think it was 2, and then it dropped down to 1 when I signed with Widnes, and that gave English players a real opportunity to at least get into the championship, to impress, to try to play Super League. And for whatever reason, that's gone away now, and I'm not complaining because we're the beneficiaries. But long term, we want southern boys from London in particular growing up excited to become a Bronco, and hopefully in the next 5 to 6 years we can have a good 40-50% of boys that have come through our pathway system that are playing Super League for the Broncos. And we've seen that in the last time we had a strong pathways team, and the guys that went up north in Scarsbrook and Club and guys like that went on and had great careers in Super League. So it's about building that again now.
How do you go about building that? Because I'm from South London, and to me rugby league wasn't a thing growing up. How do you go about getting into the community, getting into those clubs, getting players over from rugby union, for instance?
Yeah, I think first and foremost we need to have a club that people want to watch play and want to be part of. And I think what Grant and Lockie are doing, there's definitely creating some interest around the place. And then we need to get out and engage with the community and show our product. We have a fantastic product. Rugby league's one of the best games you'll watch, and it's one of the best TV games that you'll ever see on the box. So we need to get into the schools. We need to start growing our pathways program, which is all dropped away over the last 3 or 4 years. So it's going to take a bit of time, but early signs are there's interest there. There's interest there from London kids, and there's a crossover between union and league as well. We need to get those kids that finish the union season coming and playing league for the rest of the season. So there's some goals and things we want to achieve over the next few years outside of what happens with the first team, and that's a big part of it.
Just a couple from me for you, Dean. Just can you see the development between the first hit out a couple weeks ago against Widnes to now? Can you see that kind of natural progression in your attack, especially?
Yeah, I still think it's early, but I I definitely can see improvements in around training and new combinations as we spoke about. So I just think it's just keep building on that as the year goes on. It's a long season, as we know. So yeah, the more reps we get into each other, the better we'll be.
How do you go about building an attacking philosophy and a shape kind of from scratch? How do you kind of get that intensity, things like that?
Yeah, from that perspective, it's just we have a good leadership group here, and you know we all lean on one another, and obviously the coaches talk to us, and it's just us relaying it back to the group. And as long as we're all on the same page, that's the main goal. Yeah.
Do you kind of have a vibe's probably the wrong word, but do you have a desire to play a certain way when you're talking with the leadership group, or does it just kind of happen naturally?
Nah, it just sort of happens naturally. I just do whatever's best for the team, really. Yeah.
Cool.
Injury update? Any injuries?
No injuries, I don't think. Yeah.
And the Billy's okay with you?
He got a minor neural hamstring issue. It's coming from his back, so we'll get a check on him early in the week, and hopefully he's a chance for next week. But we won't know that till Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.